Well, this weekend marks the start of a tradition like no other in the state of Arkansas, according to the governor there, Asa Hutchinson.
Yeah, Saturday is the first day of duck hunting season in Arkansas. Governor Hutchinson, who just talked about this, by the way, in his weekly address. He joins us now.
Yeah, he's here with details. Governor, welcome. Thanks for coming on. Again, maybe a lighter conversation for this holiday week. Tell me about what we're expecting when it comes to duck hunting season this year.
Well, we have some of the best duck hunting in the world right here in Arkansas. We're called the duck hunting capital of the world, and it's flooded timber hunting. As I grew up in Northwest Arkansas, I didn't get to do much of it, but as I looked more over in the Delta, I fell in love with duck hunting. I've been with my sons and my grandsons. I got a couple of good duck hunts planned this year, and it's an economic driver for our state. And so come enjoy the outdoors in Arkansas, the flooded timber, some of the greatest duck hunting in the world. And for Thanksgiving dinner, I'll be having jalapeno duck poppers. That's our tradition.
Oh, that actually does sound good. I love spicy stuff. Talk to me about that, Governor. You know, thinking about traditions, and Em and I were talking about this, traditions, things that you typically will have at Thanksgiving like you did. But is duck hunting season, is that a tradition for you? Is it a tradition for your family? How did you actually get involved? Because we saw some of your photos there.
Well, I got involved because, whenever you look at our state, the duck hunting and the outdoor recreation is a very important part of our economy. So I wanted to understand it. And so I started doing it actually when I was in my 40s. So I didn't do it growing up, but it did become a tradition. And so, our duck season, runs from the November time frame right now into January, the end of January. So it's a limited amount of time. And our duck hunters are also great conservationists. So we preserve the outdoors. We understand how important the habitat is. And so it's just a part of the DNA, the culture of Arkansas. And it's really been fun to pass that on to my children and my grandsons as well, who really enjoy that. And like I said, it drives our economy as well as part of the culture of our state.
Yeah, it's always special to have those family traditions, especially around the holidays. Yeah. And I know, sir, you'll probably have a bit more time to spend with your family. Of course, you'll be leaving the top spot as governor in your state, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, winning that election. I know you're term limited, but a lot of people are wondering what's next for Governor Asa Hutchinson. I know you spoke briefly about maybe your plans for the future. Let's listen together.
I am very concerned about the future of our country. And so I want to be engaged in that debate. I plan to be in Iowa, South Carolina, New Hampshire. And so we're looking at 2024.
All those key states, of course, sir. What do you plan to do when you make a trip to those states?
Well, actually, I was in Iowa last week, spoke to the West Side Conservative Club. I love the retail politics side of our country and what they offer in Iowa, New Hampshire. And so it's very early. We just finished the midterms. And, in Arkansas, while there wasn't a national red wave nationally, we did have one in Arkansas. We had a very good year. They had a great year in Iowa on the Republican side. And so I'm looking at 2024. We want to let the dust settle. We want to enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas, but soon we'll turn to that. Critically important for our country when you look at the failed policies of this administration on border security. I've worked border security. I understand that. We have to do better there. Whenever you look at the threats to our country and the fentanyl that's coming across, I was head of the DEA. And so we've got to take on these challenges, and I want to be a part of the solutions, which really is important for a Republican candidate. Let's don't create chaos of the past and the last election. Let's look at for solutions. Energy production is so critical to America. So I'm going to be a part of that. We'll see where that leads, but I'm certainly considering 2024 as I look at the future.
Yeah, Governor, I wanted to say on that if I can, in terms of not necessarily for 2024, obviously this would bleed into that, but looking at the country as a whole right now, looking at this particular administration and looking at the issues that each American is facing today, right? Inflation, paying more for products that they didn't pay for. We're talking about this potential railroad strike that would cripple the economy or could potentially cripple the economy. A lot of folks folks are seeing their 401ks go down. The crime crisis, by the way, in major cities, the border you mentioned, the drug overdoses. What is it that sticks out to you right now that you say, hey, we need to solve this today?
The most important thing would be the energy crunch, which is really the heart of all of our inflation. That whenever energy prices go up, we're not producing enough. That impacts our supply chain. It impacts our grocery costs. It impacts the farmers' input costs. And so that's the number one thing that we have to get a handle on is increased energy production, not just so that we can be energy independent, but also that we can support our allies. Germany, for example, and I met with the German ambassador, they used to get 50% of their gas from Russia. They get zero now. Yeah. They're looking to the United States. They're looking to friendly allies for energy production. We've got to be able to supply that. So that's, to me, critically important. Second would be, obviously, the border security. We've got to get a handle on that, and we're not getting it done right now.
You know, 24 is 2 years out, but 2 weeks from now, there's going to be that key runoff race in Georgia, Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock. Do you have any plans to go out and campaign for the Republican candidate for senator?
I'm certainly open to that. I'm really a critical race for us. My wife is actually from Atlanta, Georgia area, so feel very at home there. We're pulling for him. We're going to be supporting, doing everything we can to make sure he gets across the finish line, because while it might not give us the majority, it gives us a closer margin that we can block, do a better job of blocking the Biden administration failed policy. So we're going to be doing everything that we can to make sure he wins.
Governor Asa Hutchinson joining us today. We appreciate you talking about the potential 2024 run, duck hunting season, and Thanksgiving as well. Governor, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, there's crime plaguing the city of brotherly love, and one of the culprits is a severe shortage of police officers. You won't believe what the city is doing to counteract the problem. Maybe you will. We'll reveal what that is next.
And we're speaking with a railroad worker after a major union rejected that deal with the White House. Will a strike take place? We'll discuss when National Report returns.